Justice Department is asking a federal appeals court to let the FBI regain access to about 100 classified documents that were taken from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. It's the latest turn in the legal fight over the former president's handling of government records. More now from CNN's Jessica Schneider.
Yeah, Jim, the Justice Department filing their appeal with the 11th Circuit. They're really, though, asking just for limited relief. They're telling the court that what they want is just two things that Judge Aileen Cannon below refused to give them when she ruled on Thursday night. First, they want to be allowed to continue their criminal investigation into classified documents unimpeded, meaning they want to resume using those 100 classified documents in their probe that Judge Cannon has said they can no longer use. They want to be able to use them in grand jury proceedings or with witnesses. And then the second thing they're asking for is DOJ is saying they shouldn't have to turn over those classified documents to Trump's legal team or the special master in this case who's been appointed. They're saying that the lower court judge here was just wrong to order them to hand over this highly sensitive material all in the midst of their ongoing investigation. And then on a broader scale here, the Justice Department is arguing that courts really shouldn't even be stepping in here because all of the documents at issue belong to the government. They put it this way: allowing the government to use and review the records bearing classification markings for criminal investigative purposes would not cause any cognizable injury to plaintiff. And then they went on to say that is why courts have exercised great caution before interfering through civil actions with criminal investigations or cases. And in that last sentence, the DOJ really criticizing the lower court judge for even stepping in here. We'll see just how quickly the 11th Circuit acts. And this is all coming as the special master review of these documents is just beginning. Judge Raymond Dearie, who's been named the special master, he has scheduled a hearing for Tuesday at 2 p.m. to go over how the scheduling will work. Since, of course, the clock is already ticking, the special master has to review 11,000 of these documents by November 30th. Jim?
And our thanks to Jessica for that. And CNN senior legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Elie Honig joins us now. Hey, Elie, thanks so much. How do you see this appeal process playing out? Could it go to the Supreme Court? What do you think?
It could, Jim. So this is a very narrow and strategic appeal by the Justice Department. They're not appealing the entire special master order. As Jessica said, they're sort of playing their strongest hand here. They're focusing only on those 100 classified documents. DOJ's argument essentially is there cannot be executive privilege applicable to those 100 classified documents, and the special master should not review them. Donald Trump's response has been, how do we know? Why not have a third party come in and take a look, and let's just make sure. Now, the next step here is the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. That is a conservative-leaning court. 7 of the 11 active judges on that court are Republican nominees. 6 of those are actually Donald Trump's. So you will get 3 judges picked at random. They will hear this. Now, the losing side can then ask for what's called en banc review, to use the fancy lawyer term, but it basically just means all 11 judges hear it. That's up to the circuit. If that happens, it's going to be 7-4 in favor of Republican nominees. And then whoever loses there can try to get it up to the Supreme Court. Of course, the Supreme Court doesn't have to take any case. It will be up to them. So this is really just the start of what could be a long appellate journey. I think it's a fairly even chance as to what happens at the next step, but either side is going to have further remedies.
And Elie, CNN has confirmed that last year Trump's former White House deputy counsel, Pat Philbin, told the National Archives boxes of records at Mar-a-Lago were just newspaper clippings. Philbin says that's what he was told by the former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. Now a Meadows spokesperson is saying this. Mr. Meadows did not personally review the boxes at Mar-a-Lago, did not have a role in examining or verifying what was or wasn't contained within them. What's your read in all of this?
Well, Jim, it's all about who knew, and let's let the finger pointing begin. I mean, let's trace it back. Yeah. This is a false statement. There were way more than newspaper clippings at Mar-a-Lago. We know that for a fact. Pat Philbin, White House lawyer, made that statement to Archives. He's saying, I didn't come up with that. I was told by Meadows. Meadows is now saying, well, I didn't know that firsthand. Somebody else told me. So the challenge here for prosecutors is going to be to follow this chain of communications all the way down. Maybe somebody's already lying in those statements that we just went through, but they're going to have to dig in here. They're going to have to see if they can flip someone on the inside or find documents. But somebody along the chain had to know there were more than newspaper clippings and made that false statement. And whoever knowingly made that false statement could be on the hook for false statements crimes and for obstruction of justice.
Yeah, Ellie, I mean, when we saw the pictures from Mar-a-Lago from the Justice Department, I guess that one picture that showed all the documents with, in bold letters, top secret, on the documents, I mean, that doesn't look like a press clipping to me.
It's yellow and red. It's bright colors. Yeah.
Yeah, so easy you and I could spot them. But Trump went on the Hugh Hewitt show, Ellie, and he once again claimed that he declassified the documents, even as his own lawyers are avoiding making that assertion. Let's take a listen to that.
Mr. Patel said he witnessed you giving verbal orders to declassify the papers that ended up at Mar-a-Lago. Do you remember making those orders?
That's correct. And not only that, I think it was other people also were there. But I have the absolute right to declassify. Absolute. A president has that absolute right. And a lot of people aren't even challenging that anymore.
Ellie, can you give us an absolute fact check on this?
Three quick things, Jim. One, the president does have very broad authority to declassify. Two, there is zero evidence that Donald Trump did exercise that authority when he was president. Three, there is quite a bit of counter evidence that he never did actually declassify, including the 18 or so public officials who served under Trump who've told CNN they never heard of any such thing, and it's an outright fabrication.